But I think that culture and when I came for a what Chicken Wednesday meant when I was there, like you had your best outfit, you had the best haircut, you had your best dude, girls had the, you know what I'm saying?
Hello, Eagle fans. This is Cal Barnes with the NCCU Sports Network. Welcome back to Season 2 of Where Are They Now, where we interview former NCCU student athletes and take a look at what they're doing post-NCCU. Joining me today is none other from the basketball program, Emmanuel Poobie Chapman. Poobie is NCCU's all-time career assist leader with 617, number 2 in career steals with 173. In his senior season, he was named All-MEAC, broke NCCU's single-season assist record with 217 and part of NCCU's first of many MEAC Tournament Championship teams. And now, current men's basketball coach at his high school alma mater, Enloe High. Poobie Chapman, thanks for joining me, man. How you been, man? How you doing?
What's going on, bro? That intro is insane. I love to hear that intro. I appreciate that. All that put together right there made me feel good. I appreciate that. I feel good.
Hey, man, anytime, man. I mean, like I said, NCCU royalty right here, hands down, man. One of the best players to come through the program. But first things first, man, let's give a little bit of timeline of what happened, once you graduated, back a couple years ago, man.
As you said, we were part of that team, that first team to kind of break through the success, I guess, and going to the next level as a program. And when I was done, I, did the same thing as a couple of other guys, and I, tried those overseas waters, and I was playing. And so what happened was, I was coming back and forth from playing overseas, or I was coming back and forth from trying to chase my dreams and doing all of that, and I needed a space to work out at. And my old high school was in Raleigh. I still got really good connections. And, sometimes my workout times, the coach was nice enough to let me have a gym, but sometimes my workout times overlap with the practices of the workouts from the high school kids. So I knew a couple of them knew who I was, and I knew who a couple of them was, but just naturally through seeing them and working. I worked in the team center in Raleigh, North Carolina, and knowing a couple of them, I was just interested in helping, you know what I mean? So alongside, I might jump in their practice. I might have a couple of them jump in my workouts and just formed a relationship. And I'd say about a year of just back and forth of doing that a couple times. I had never coached in my life, aside from doing some rec league stuff as an older guy, but I had never coached. I had just been a point guard, you know what I mean? So when I told them, they asked me if I was interested, and I told them, I wanted to help out any way that I could. So it kind of just naturally took that course of okay, well, would you want to have, what capacity would you want to be here? You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, whatever capacity you guys need me in, I want to do it. So that's kind of how that happened, where I just was around the program and seeing, I wasn't happy with what I was seeing in terms of prestige and tradition. So I wanted to show my face around a little bit more just to see, what that could do.
So you say you didn't coach before, you weren't just a point guard, but, people always say the point guard is like an extension of the coach on the court. So tell me, now that you're coaching, what are some of the similarities, being a point guard and a head coach, and what are some of the biggest differences that you found, in your coaching experience?
That statement is true. I can't even lie. It's definitely true. I learned a lot of it also being a point guard for coach, you know what I'm saying, for Bill, that you got to have that type of something. But I think the similarities are just managing personality, understanding the player, understanding the players outside of yourself. So pretty much as a point guard, you got 4 other dudes on the court that's yo, give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want the basketball, you know what I'm saying? So having to be a point guard and okay, I'm gonna give you the pill, but I'm gonna give it to you closer to the basket if you don't really got too much success away from the basket. That kind of process of elimination, or that type of understanding of the game has to come, in my opinion, from the point guard that I studied, and the game that I studied. That's what a point guard is, you know what I'm saying? So I think that right there, the only difference to me is when you get frustrated, you can't just do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? For me as a point guard, if somebody ain't scoring, if we're not executing, if we ain't playing hard enough, then I'm just going to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I do that to myself a couple possessions, and everybody will come along. As a coach, I can't score no basket. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing for you. So having to be able to kind of maneuver through those obstacles is the only difference. Where I can't do it myself, I got to figure out how to motivate.
Gotcha. And like you said, you're in your old Stormer grounds, you're coaching your alma mater high school. What is it like knowing that I played for this high school and now I'm back coaching, giving back to the kids that, were in the same situation that I was in?
I think that's the main thing. I think I didn't want to coach personally, but that's the selling point. Like I'm gonna always get trapped on that. Like your kids, they need help, one, and it's two, like it's somewhere that I represent. And I take really pride in representing myself and representing others. So I think just that alone of like, even when I was in school, it was a time where you was getting out of public school and going to private school. You know what I'm saying? So being able to know like these guys that's still at my school, they might not see so much honor in playing here because there's so much honor in playing for these public schools now. So I wanted to bring back that pride and prestige of Enloe High School. You know what I mean? So I think that's the main thing where I'm like, it's personal to me. Like, you know what I mean? When we lose, it's not just when we lost. It's more so like my high school, what I stand for, my name is on. You know what I mean? It's so much that goes into it that I think it makes it a little bit more sweet when we lose and a little bit more sour when we lost. I mean, we win.
Gotcha. And you touched on it earlier, head coach Lavelle Mo, both you guys coaching at your alma maters. So talk about how that relationship formed between you and Coach Moten and some of the advice that he's giving you, becoming a head coach.
Relationship, I can't even, that was before I was even born. You know what I mean? He had ties into my father, into Raleigh basketball. So like, I think what I represent now, he represented to me when I was younger. You know what I mean? I remember being a young kid and watching him, I hate that I'm about to have to say this and he about to use this against me, but I seen him score 50 in the summer league game. You know what I mean? I seen him literally dominate NBA guys. I seen him dominate, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger. But being older, he was a guy that played overseas. He was a dude that literally destroyed the CIAA that, we both from the Raleigh Boys Club, Raleigh Boys and Girls Club. So we grew up in the same space, you know what I'm saying, just, decades and generations apart. But we was the ball boys. I remember being a ball boy for the Boys and Girls Club during the CIAA. And come on, man, he's that. You know what I mean? Y'all see the banner, y'all see all of that. So just off of that alone, he has some type of like OG or a mentor to all of the guys that, play basketball in Raleigh, and me in particular. I went to all of the basketball camps. He had a basketball camp, I was there. So along to him being tough ain't even a word when I was a basketball player, to me graduating and becoming, my own man, but the advice that he's given to me as a coach, it sounds minimal in terms of quantity, but the quality of what he's given has been immense. You know what I mean? He's told me a lot, like, yo, I can give you all of these tips, I can give you all of these things, but I know you and you learn better through experience. You know what I'm saying? So when I do fall, I hit him, he pay attention, he know, like, yeah, that was a tough loss, but this is what you got to do. You already know that it's so it's more so just he's there for me when I really, really need it. He wants me to go through it and experience it and take my own L's and be able to respond. But, he's giving me more than he can without even communicating. So that's kind of, the advice that he gives. I just pay attention.
Gotcha. And you say, so he did drop 50. That's confirmed. You a witness. He dropped 50 in the summer league?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This was after he was like, you know what I mean? This is after he was in shape. This is when he had kind of gave it up. He was kind of,
Oh, he still had a little something going on, huh?
He's tough, man. You know what I mean? I can't even hate on him. So.
But, going at your time at NCCU, man, you had to form that bond with a lot of your teams. So just tell me, so what are some of the funniest teammates, that you played with at NCCU?
It's hard. That's a crazy question. I think every single teammate I played with was literally insane. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I'll say the funniest, I'll say Alfonso Houston. And I think it was Zoe because Zoe never tried to be funny. You know those people that just don't never try to be funny? Bro just literally funny everything he did. But my senior year, that team, and everybody on that team was a character. Like at the worst possible, you know what I mean? We was literally like brothers. It's interviews and it's people that always say when you seen all of us, when you seen one of us, you seen all of us. But it was really true, you know what I mean? Like it's too many moments to count. It's guys. I say that the funniest dude is I think my freshman year, I think Marv transferred. His name was Marvin Fitzgerald. His name was Marv. And he literally used to just crack on everybody to the point where like we all picked up. Like he had cracked on everybody so much that we just picked up the way he cracked on us and was starting to crack back. But Marv the Bear, the mayor, shout out Marv, man. Marv, he probably take the cake as a funny.
We talk about some of the stuff that happened off the court. Let's talk about, some of your favorite memories on the court at NCCU, and then also off the court, as just a student in general at NCCU.
I'll start with off the court because the student life at NCCU when I was there for 4 years was spectacular. That's part of the selling point. Like, I had offers and I had interest from some mid-major and high-major schools, but I think that culture and when I came for what Chicken Wednesday meant when I was there, like you had your best outfit, you had the best haircut, you had your best dude. Girls had that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was. It was student life. It was times we were upset that we was basketball players because we was missing the student life. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so like we were all together like as a family, as an equal family. You know what I'm saying? That equal pride thing was really big. And I think that right there translates to on the court. Like our game was selling out because we was all 14 of us, or however many of us was on the team, we was at every event, whether it was a pre-dine, whether it was a midnight breakfast, whether it was a block party, we was all there. You know what I mean? We was always there together as a community, as a North Carolina Central community. So I think that is why our games and why our family, why it meant so much to us, why it meant so much for our school, for us to have success, because we were, implementing everything that was going on. But I say my favorite, I don't have a favorite memory off the court, because that's literally every day. Every day. I say my favorite memory is just all of us being together. Like whether we was outside on the brick, like everybody was experiencing what college was probably the best thing. That's the thing I miss the most. The thing that me and my teammates, when we do talk, we reminisce on. But I say my favorite memory on the court, man, I think it was me and Jerm. It's a clip of it too. It's a clip of playing Morgan, and somebody had got a rebound, outlet it to me, and we was running the lanes. I peeked over and seen Jerm running, literally balling, and I threaded the needle to him. He came down, and Jerm he don't dunk, you know what I'm saying? So he caught it in stride, 1-2, dunked it, boom, and did a little like an eagle joint down the court, and the crowd was going crazy because that was one of our tougher games. Morgan is one of the tougher teams, you know what I mean? And at that time, they was at the top with us, and it was a game where I think it was a low scoring game, bro. It was one of those games where nobody scored, we were stopping each other, fouled, it was nasty. And I remember that moment being our breakthrough moment where the crowd was with us. You know what I mean? We ain't never get booed. It was never that. When we were struggling, they was with us. Come on, you know what I mean? So that took us to another level in terms of ain't nobody leaving the games early. They had the security. We ain't had that much security as it is now as well. But we was in the gym at the game, you know what I'm saying, talking and chopping. It was still a full gym. So that game right there for me, I think was our breakthrough too, because we were used to smacking people. You know what I mean? So once we was in a tight game, I think that off the court stuff is what won that game for us. But that's probably my favorite moment where I threw it to him, bro, dunked it. We hyped, ready to get back on it, but that's probably my favorite moment.
Hey, and that McDougal crowd, when it's full, when it starts getting a rocket, man, that's just love as a basketball player. That's what you want to dream of, man. How you talked about a little bit, but kind of explain to the people how important that is, having that crowd go crazy in McDougal.
Man, we played in the biggest arena. We played at Indiana. We played at NC State and PNC. We played Wichita. We played Wichita the year they went undefeated in a sold-out gym and almost beat them. But I played so many different places overseas. I played so many different places. But I'll say packed North Carolina Central gym, I just got chills thinking about it, dog. My first time playing in a packed gym was A&T my first year. And that was the first time we had played against them since the 90s. So we hadn't played against them for a long, it was 20 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So the game was insane on top of that. But just the way that it's alumni, you know what I mean? And usually at schools, the alumni are the old people that kind of chill and they don't really, they get their drinks. The alumni at our school is live. On the court, our fans are live. They literally on the court. Like you feel like you want to, they getting facts about whatever it is. They follow you on Instagram. They hollering at the girl. Like in the SAB, they called it when I was there. They either had it. I remember everybody that was in that. You know what I'm saying? And like everything that went into that home cooking. Coming into the nest, taking that, we wasn't losing at the crib. You know what I'm saying? We lost at the crib. We hats off. You know what I'm saying? But the crib, man, the nest is something that we took pride in, and I'm glad to be a part of the beginning of. I think we had one of the longest home winning streaks. Like KJ and Jordan and them took it to another level. But just understanding that when y'all come here, y'all gonna have a game. Y'all gonna have a fight on y'all hands, no matter who you are. I think that was the most important thing, because it's like we didn't have to fight in here. We practiced in here for hours and fight each other. So you think we about to let you come in here and have it easy? No, sir. So like that's the main thing for us, for sure.
Yeah, that McDougal crowd is lit, man. Like it's so fun.
And we had Double J. We had Double J as our DJ. I don't know who the DJ is now.
It's his younger brother now, DJ Show Out. Yep.
Word?
Yeah.
That's fine. So we had Double J. Shout out my dog Double, yo. And our band. The band with Double J. Come on, bro. We couldn't, you know what I mean? It was impossible. So.
Yeah, so speaking of the court, man, you already know I'm about to ask me. You and your boy Jeremy Ingram, one of the most dynamic duos in NCCU history. So talk about how that chemistry. Just talk about how that chemistry was forming.
Me and him still talk about this to this day, but I think it's really because we both are two alphas, and like usually people think that two alphas can't get along, but I think most of the time that's it. It's an alpha and then a beta thinking they're alpha. When two true alphas are around each other, it's magic. You know what I'm saying? Like I met bro, we was playing in the East-West All-Star game, North Carolina East-West All-Star game, and I had been talking to Bill a little bit, and I'm like, what recruits got coming into my class? Kind of keeping tabs. And I knew it was a dude on the other from Charlotte that I had played against a lot. I had heard Jeremy a lot, and we was on a bus coming from a practice at the tournament. I mean, at the game. And he's like, yo, your name Poobie? I'm like, yep. I'm like, your name Jeremy? He's like, yeah. He's like, yo, you going to Central? I'm like, yeah. He's like, me too. Dabbed up from that moment on. Like in that game, first of all, we won. We beat him. But he had like, I think he might have, bro. He was shooting the ball from like NBA. This is in high school. Like, he had all the tats. He shooting it from. I'm like, oh, I like this. I like this dude. And he had came into a session of summer school early. So he was on campus before I was on campus. So he had kind of figured his way out a little bit before I did. And I think he had a rougher freshman year than I did. Freshman year, Bill was on us both, man. I think we kind of bonded a lot through our trauma with Coach. You know what I'm saying? Coach had us out there. A lot of stuff I don't want to say because I don't know what the NCAA going to say too. But like, we was flipping tires. We was running stadiums. Like, he was doing us dirty as freshmen. Like, really, really had us questioning, like, yo, am I even good? You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to dig in and realize it. And that's something that I talk to the younger guys about now, where it's a little bit different with this generation because you can just jump teams and do whatever. But I think, when I was coming up, not that it was that long ago, but it wasn't no transferring for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was in our mind. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we might figure this out. But we realized that we was in the mud. Like, this is it. We can make this program, or we can do our best to help make this program like a household name. You know what I mean? Me and Jeremy and a couple of other guys, but me and Jeremy in particular, because we was freshmen, we wanted North Carolina Central to be a destination. You know what I mean? When we got there, it was a whole bunch of guys that transferred there and transferred out, or they used Central to be, we're going to go here for a year. I'm going to go here for a year, and then I'm going to leave. And we didn't like that aspect because, we were there for one, and two, we took pride in that. You know what I mean? We wanted North Carolina Central to be a destination. When you graduate from high school, we want you to want to come to Central, not like, I'm going to Central for a year. And I feel like, we did what we could to make sure that that's the case now. I see guys excited about North Carolina Central. You know what I'm saying? And when we committed to North Carolina Central, it wasn't that type of excitement. You know what I mean? And that's just being honest. And I think all of us together, but me and Jeremy in particular, that's what I'm talking about. literally was like, yeah, we're gonna do everything in our power to make North Carolina Central a household name. We want that to be um, some gold, like a gold star on your resume, and not like a saying, you know, yo, I went to Central for you. But, you know, I did that to my grades. Nah, we wanted to make sure when we came in, you know what I'm saying, if it was a destination. And from the moment we stepped in to the moment we left, we were like locked in on making that a thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why it meant so much to us. You know, I don't like talking about myself, but I say, and that's why his name is in the Raptors. You know, that's why his jersey is in the Raptors right now, because literally from the beginning to the end, I know a lot of people think, you know, when they see us now, it was sweet, and it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We went through our first year. That was our first year going D1. So we had all the guarantee games, which means we get slapped around. You know what I'm saying? We was going up there and competing, and then getting slapped around. So to see that and build upon that, take some tough losses our first year. Our second year, we revamped, got some Calvin, we got Dominique, got our dog KJ. Some more people came in, you know what I'm saying? And then our junior year, when I feel like we tasted success, I'm like, we should have went undefeated that year. But we knew it. And then we went up to the tournament and laid an egg. You know what I'm saying? We kind of got ahead of ourselves, all of us, coaches included. You know what I'm saying? We've had that talk about how we all should have been more prepared for that moment. But coming back in, you know, with God transferring and KJ literally becoming a monster. He's been a monster since I first met him. But literally becoming a monster going into my second year. And then adding Jordan, that was the perfect recipe to making sure that Central was here to stay. We did not want to be, and I still say this to this day, like, I wish Jordan would have did, Perkins, I wish Perk would have did something in terms of touching my record, because I'm not here to hold the record 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? If I do, then I ain't do my job. You know what I'm saying? Our job was to leave something and want everybody that came after us to knock that out the park. You know what I'm saying? I think it did. The very next year after we left, they went undefeated in the conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing is what makes us feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't the old dudes that's like, we the best team to ever play at Central. We did our job. We'll let people argue about it. But we wanted to be 10 teams that's in that argument, and not just one team that was really good and now we trash. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is something that we locked in on. Now I don't mean to get off topic, but to bring it back, me and John locked in on off the court and on the court, changing what North Carolina Central meant. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning up our name off the court and, you know, making us be a powerhouse on the court.
Gotcha. And so, like you said, you had Germ, you know, you had Jordan, you had KJ. Was there like a certain look, you know, that you gave him that, you know, you're trying to pass the ball, like, or like you see Jordan cutting or Germ, you like, yo, I'm about to throw you this line. Like, was it like a certain look, a certain like, was it?
Yeah, it sounded insane. It really wasn't. Like, we really knew each other well enough to know, like, Jordan knew if he took one step away from the rim, I know to throw it at the rim. Like, I know it. You know what I'm saying? And like, when I was there, Jordan wasn't really, well, he was, but he wasn't used outside that much. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't allowed. Bill wasn't really letting him dribble and shoot too much. So I told him off the court, and you can ask, bro, this, like, bro, I know you can get busy. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw you the ball in the tough position. You got to make a play. If you don't, then he going to cuss me out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I allowed, you know, I wanted bro to be able to eat, and then I look back at his highlights from his senior year with him and them, and Jordan like a totally different dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and Nimrod was like that. So now I think we always just tapped into where we knew exactly what needed to be done. It's unspoken things, real.
Let's go ahead and talk about your senior season, man. You know, November 11th, 2013. Does that date ring a bell to you?
Come on, man. Absolutely.
So November 11th, 2013, people don't know, you broke the assist record for most assists in a career at NCCU. One, I know you say you would remember the day, so I know you remember the assist. And just talk about the emotions, you know, when you realized that you made history.
I say for me, man, that was I had 4 things written down on the note card when I started North Carolina Central, and breaking the assist record was one of them. So it felt amazing. Like, you know what I mean? It was one of those out of body experiences where it don't even seem real. Like, at the moment, I had did all the calculations on knowing what was up, but I'm like, yo, Chris Hooks had lied to me, like, oh, you need such and such amount. But when I got the assist, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Like, why is everybody cheering? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? I wish Colt would have dunked it, which would have made my highlight look a little better. But, you know, I take the basket for sure, yeah. And another thing is, like, I have been, you know, I was close to getting it my junior year. So, like, with me, I don't think no game is promised. So I was tight, like, man, I hope I get it. You know what I mean? So when I got it, I didn't really know, like, does this count? You know what I'm saying? Good stuff kind of always, it happened, but then something happened, like, oh, well, this didn't count 2 years ago, so you just need two more. So once it was set in stone, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like, all right, yeah, for sure.
You say you wrote, 4 things on a note card when you got to Central. You said the assist record was one of them. What were the other 3 things that you wrote? The assist record and what else?
The assist record, I wanted to make the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
I wanted to get my jersey retired.
Okay.
I wanted to play in Madison Square Garden.
Okay. So you had a big 4 right there. You had a big 4 that you tried to accomplish, man.
I got three. I wanted to get. They actually played in the Barclays Arena, which I would have taken. That would have counted. But they played it the year after me. I was cool with that because Jordan got to go home and do his thing.
Gotcha.
That's what NC State was.
About a week or so later from you breaking the assist record, November 20th, 2013, y'all traveled to PNC Arena, defeated NC State in overtime, which is probably one of the biggest moments in the program's history. Talk about preparing for that game and then your thoughts throughout that whole game.
Crazy, bro, because it really don't. It's a humongous moment for our program and for our team. But for the program, but it wasn't really a big moment for our team, or me and John or coach, because we had been preparing for that moment for years. Like my first game ever in college, we played against Oklahoma. My first game ever, and we should have won that game. And I know a lot of people say it should have won, but like we was up 3 with like 20 seconds left, and there was some wild stuff that happened at the end of the game. They ended up picking it up, hitting the 3 ball. Oakland, that crowd went crazy. We was freshmen. We like, oh, it's over. We ended up losing by 20 in overtime.
Oh my God.
But like from that moment, I knew like, oh, it's just that simple. It's that simple. We that close to where all you gotta do is just take care of business. You know what I'm saying? So that was in our head. And then the very next year, we played against NC State my sophomore year, and again, it was. I ain't gonna say we should have beat them, but that was probably one of the most talented teams I had seen with C.J. Leslie and Lorenzo Brown, and we had Dominique Sutton, who, bro, you know what I'm saying? We had Ray Willis, we had Ibuka and Yora, we had all of the guys that helped this program get to where it was, and we took them literally down to the wire, where a couple of calls go our way, a couple of balls bounce our way, and we would beat them a year in. You know what I'm saying? I always remember that to where it's right there. You know what I mean? So back to my senior year, shout out my cousin TJ Warren. So TJ ended my high school career. He hit like a deep volleyball 3-ball at the buzzer to finish my high school career. So I told him, like, bro, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna find you. You know what I'm saying? But just going into that, it meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to Coach as well, because Coach Bill and Coach Mose, who was at the time our associate head, they put a lot of work in. I know that now, being on the other side of it. Like, we were just cool enough to go in there, work out, and make shots, but the preparation, the scouting report, the scheduling, just building our confidence, it was so much that went into that game. We all felt that, they just not so much we as well, but as a coaching staff, they deserve to get that big win. They put in so much work for this program. We deserve to all have that win under our belt. You know what I'm saying? And selfishly, that was my first time playing in Raleigh for a long time. Like, I wanted to, even though I was in Durham, like for Raleigh, I wanted to make that happen. I wanted it to make that thing happen. And we all went in not like, hey, we could win this. We went in like, we're going to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And like, after the game, there wasn't no crazy celebration. We didn't throw the ball up. We didn't rush the court. It was like, that was a good game. Should have won it in regulation, but we'll take it this way. You know what I'm saying? The same thing happened in Oklahoma. We was up 3 with some time left. Some crazy stuff happened. Dude hit a 3, and then the overtime crowd go crazy. Same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? But 4 years later, 4 years more mature, we handled that situation different to know, like, we need to do this stuff. So it was a big moment, but I think it was a moment that we kind of anticipated.
Gotcha. So you're saying, your freshman year with that Oklahoma game and the NC State in the same situation, and Coach Mo has talked about this too. When that 3-pointer went in, you did that flashback come to your memory with the Oklahoma game when you saw that 3 go and it's in overtime?
Yeah, nah, for sure. And it was Zoe's fault. It was Zoe's fault. I'm calling Zoe out. There's no reason he's supposed to help. You know what I'm saying? We down 3, bro. Just stay home. They put a dude in that shoot threes and we helping. So we chew him. That's another thing where like we chew on the way there. We like, bro, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that on the way to the huddle? But nobody was mad because we know that's part of basketball. We're gonna respond to the show.
Hey, and show again, y'all locked in. You got the first tournament championship of many to follow at NCCU. Right. But later on that season, like you said, you one of your 4 things you wanted to accomplish was make it to March Madness. You made it to the NCAA tournament. I don't know if you know this, but you received, still to this day, the highest seeding from an HBCU in the NCAA tournament, facing Iowa State. What was it like playing on March Madness on the big stage and just having that experience, especially in your senior season?
Just what I was talking about earlier, just the representation part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to a school where, we turned up. You know what I'm saying? We get noticed for things off the court. You know what I mean? That wasn't athletic. You know what I'm saying? So for us to have an athletics moment was important for us. You know what I'm saying? As a program, to like, we representing a whole. You know what I mean? And then it was us and Duke in there. You know what I'm saying? So like, we hadn't had that space where it's 2 teams out of Durham in the North Carolina, and you know what I'm saying, in the NCAA tournament. I think coach, all of our coaches prepared us so well for that moment. You know what I mean? To be well spoken, to be able to answer the question the right way, to be able to play the right way, prepare the right way. You know what I'm saying? I think just that alone to show everybody that you can put an HBCU on this stage and we'll carry ourselves the right way and we'll compete for sure.
Looking back at NCCU basketball, that's wearing like a full-fledged like T-shirt underneath your jersey. Like, you got to let us know, man. What's the story behind that? Like, what was the reason behind wearing the T-shirt? Because you're the only one that was doing it, man.
Yeah. It's really that's a dope question. I admire your energy skills for that. That's good.
Appreciate that.
It's a couple reasons though, bro. The insecure reason I give you is like I was skinny. When I first started playing ball, I was skinny, and I didn't like the way my arms looked in the jersey. You know what I'm saying? This is back in the day when I was like maybe middle school. I didn't like the way it looked, you know what I'm saying? And then to follow that up, like I always worked out with a T-shirt. Everybody works out with a T-shirt. Well, when I was, everybody liked to show their tattoos and muscles down. But like I got used to shooting and my reps and all my reps and stuff was with a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? And like when I didn't play with a T-shirt, I felt naked. I was overshooting. You know what I'm saying? It just was a comfort thing. You know what I'm saying? Aside from like, I thought it looked good. Like I thought it was swaggy. You know what I'm saying? I felt like if I didn't have it's a couple games I didn't play in a shirt, and when I didn't, man, I did not like it.
But since your time at NCCU, you got yourself, you got Nimrod, you got Dwan, now you got Jordan Perkins recently. Each of these guys have won a championship, whether it be in the regular season or it's been in the tournament. What makes the point guard play special for this program?
I think anybody that's played for Coach Moten understands how much he demands from this program. And for me, I think it was guys before me. Nuke Glasser is the one that put me on. He was my big homie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nuke. He was my point guard when I got there. But I think it's with playing for somebody that's so demanding on their program and their players. As a point guard, you have to relieve a lot of that tension. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's demanding. He's going to be on you. You know what I mean? But to ease a lot of the things, I think for him and his program and the way that there's a lot of pressure on us forever, I think as a point guard, you got to take all that pressure on and stop it from getting to the rest of the team. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's coming. He's gonna chew you out. He's gonna demand a lot of us. That's what he's supposed to do. So as a point guard and as a leader of the squad, you got to be the one to stop all of that from getting to the players. You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, talk to me, cuss me out, give me whatever you need to give me, and then I'm gonna give it to them the way that I know them because we've been off the court every day, because we play together, because you know what I mean? I think the guys that's come after me has learned, or maybe not even have learned from me, but have understood that like everybody can't take that criticism or that pressure from him. But he's gonna give it to you whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? So I think the teams that had great point guards has understood that like I'll take all the blame, I'll take all the pressure, I'll take all the cussing out. All you gotta do is play.
This past summer, though, with all these social injustice going on, you decided to, get active and take a stance and, help improve the Raleigh area. When did you realize that, you had to step up and make a change? And then what are some of the things that you did and are continuing to try to do that you started with last summer?
First thing is just being actually out in the field. I don't want to come from a bougie stance of like standing behind a computer or standing behind a phone and being able to like, oh, this is what's going on. We should do this. We should do this. People should do this. I wanted to actually get out there at ground zero and figure out what was going on, what it felt like, what it looked like, and stay connected to the people in the streets that actually, is actually going through the things. And going out to the protests and being around and talking and understanding what was going on, it allowed me to see the void in what was going on in our community, in our culture. You know what I'm saying? And to me, at that point last summer with George Floyd and the food and all of that stuff, I felt like we were showing up and we were showing out, but I felt like we were angry. And I say that because I was angry. You know what I mean? I'm not even an angry person, but just that right there put something inside of me that I wasn't happy about. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that way. And so that prompted me to start something called, or have something doing things called soul food. And what that is pretty much, and we all know what soul food is, but whatever it means to somebody else is pretty much like we take soul food is taking what people have given for us, the scraps, the food that they didn't want, and making it appealing, making it something that is ours, and then in return they want back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, what makes you feel good? You know what I mean? I know what angers us because I've seen it. I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I've seen what makes us mad. But like, what's something that we can celebrate? What's something about our culture and our people that we can hold on to and we can celebrate? You know what I mean? I think that void was something that I wanted to feel. Like, yo, okay, let me have a big block party, and let me have an event where it's just everything about our culture is on one platform, one place. Everybody that's out there can experience. We can remember what makes us us. You know what I'm saying? I know what makes us mad, but what makes us us? What makes us shine? What makes us good? What makes us love one another? You know what I mean? I think that's where that came into play. What made me do it is just the fact that like a lot of people speak about what other people should do with their time, with their money, and their relationships. But I'd rather be someone that like, kind of gets my weight up in whatever aspect that I see fit, and then doing it myself. So if I want people to do something, I'm just going to do it myself, and hope they either follow or get on the same page with whatever they put in.
Last season, we asked Pat Coe, another former alum for the basketball program, to pick two teammates in a 3v3 tournament. This time around, this new season, we're going to change it up a little bit. So I want you, Poobie Chapman, and actually, I want Coach Poobie Chapman. I don't want the point guard. I want Coach Poobie Chapman. Okay. I want you to pick 5 people that you're going to take. We're going at the Walker. We have a little tournament. I want you to pick 5 people. Yeah, I was going to put you out there on the court, but I want Coach Poobie. I want Coach Poobie Chapman.
Hey, well, I want to play though. The Walker is somewhere I want to play.
We can have you play. All right, you can. All right, you for.
Let me see. I'll take KJ.
Okay.
I'll take Jordan.
Jordan Parks.
Yeah, I take KJ. I take Jordan Parks. I take Jeremy Ingram.
Okay.
And I take Dwayne Sims.
Okay.
All right. So anybody that know Wayno, like he used to dominate the Walker. Like bro used to dominate the Walker. He used to go to the Walker without us. You know what I'm saying? So Wayne will probably carry it.
We're about to go ahead and get ready for the rapid fire segment. 45 seconds. Let's start now. All right. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Boneless or bone-in wings?
Boneless.
Lil Wayne or Drake?
Wayne.
All right. Coaching or playing?
Playing.
Give me your top 3 NBA point guards of all time.
Magic, Chris Paul, Iverson.
You said Iverson?
Yeah.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Pre-dawn or 10:40 at night?
Pass.
Defeating A&T at home or away?
Away.
March Madness or the NBA playoffs?
March Madness.
The hardest person you had to guard in practice?
Germ.
Favorite basketball shoe?
Germ and CJ Wilkinson.
Germ and CJ Wilkinson. And what's your favorite basketball shoe? We'll get the question in. What's your favorite basketball shoe?
Everything.
And when you look back at your time at NCCU, Are there, some people that you would like to thank?
So many people. I like to thank everybody that's involved with North Carolina Central, but most importantly, I want to thank my mom, Jackie Davis. Mom, she was the one that made that decision digestible for me. You know what I mean? Because going to an HBCU wasn't even in my scope. I wanted to go high major. I wanted to play in Carolina. I wanted, but I got some offers for some high majors, but she let me know that you need to go where, where your people are. You need to go to who wants you, who before you. So I like to thank a whole lot of people, but if I can only thank one person, it's my mom. Sure.
Poobie, man, thanks again for taking the time out your day for this interview. And again, appreciate you again coming through and continue to do big things. And again, keep killing it as a head coach at Enloe, man. I know eventually, man, y'all gonna go ahead and bring the championship because that's all you do, man. You just surrounded by greatness. That's all y'all do, man. Appreciate you, man. Well, that's gonna do it right here, NCCU fans. Appreciate you guys for season 2. Where are they now? Again, catch us for all our social media networks for more content. Catch you next time, y'all. Eagle Pride, amplified.